Hi, I'm Ashadera, and we're going to do a quick look at the Penthouse's new secret. I have not done this yet because once you do it, it is done. Um, so, Previously, when you first get the penthouse, you can deck it all out and everything, and you find a note from Suzie, the ghost. And we are going to find, now that Bedlam has been released, we have a new note. Now, I haven't looked at this one yet. So, now you're ready to go there. Puzzles you have to solve, dangerous ghosts, and more. It won't be easy. If we can. That's something we'll talk about later. Bedlam is not a place how you think it is. Not an ordinary asylum, but a corrupt place where people are tortured by sick-minded doctors and their assistants, where evil is done under the name of good. That's why you will encounter a lot of aggressive ghosts there. This will be deadly, but I believe you can do it. It's your job after all, right? The place where they took me for the first time was a day I will never forget. They came to my cell and closed my eyes first. I'm sure they did not want me to see where we were going. I can't rightly say how many floors they took me up. I was unconscious, but I could hear their conversations. Couldn't see them, but hear them. It didn't take me long to realize their voices were echoing. I was in a place like a toilet. At least that's how I felt. The smell confirmed my feeling. After some time, we suddenly stopped. Or after some walking, we suddenly stopped. I didn't know what was going to happen. They leaned me against a wall and shouted, "Mirror." I still remember that wind blowing in my face. Even if I couldn't see it, I'm sure that place has changed. There's definitely something hidden in that place. I don't know what it is, but we can start there. After we solve the mystery of this place, we should decide what to do. Suzie. Okay, so this is going to take us to Bedlam, and we're going to try to find this. So we're going to one of the toilets, and we're just going to kind of walk around and shout "mirror" in the toilets.
So I'm going to be doing a few quick cuts because I get lost and I don't want to drag you guys around the whole time. And we're going to not make you go through the whole thing. So I'm going to be cutting this pretty quick and just so you can see where we go and how to get it.
Oh, wow. Mirror. Christ almighty. Well, there it is. Oh. Have mercy. A key. I wonder where that goes to. Okay. So there is our first surprise. All right. So now we are back at the safe house. I only figured out the ghost. I did not stick around for super long because I wanted to see what else we had here. Hey, Pupper. All right. So notice that one is gone. This is the first one. There we go. Here's our new one. This key, yes, this key looks familiar. I've seen it before. This is the key that Dr. Thompson carried with himself all the time. I'm pretty sure it opens a door in the canteen. He would pass us by while we were eating and enter the room there with this key. We were watching him in curiosity. However, they must have realized that because they sealed the canteen door with a rope. From then, we started to eat in our cells. First, you have to cut that rope. You have a knife, don't you? Don't tell me you work at a job like this and your company didn't give you a knife. Anyway, if you don't have one, I'm sure you can find one in the hospital or somewhere nearby. There are things I need to tell you about myself, but first, you have to go to that room. Let's find out what's in there. I'll be waiting for you here after you open the room and investigate. Suzie. Alright, yeah, and like, this room wasn't creepy enough, right? I did not realize when I first did this that this was a one-time open. So I cannot go back and show you that, but I'm sure there are other people who have it. This is cool. Exit. And she says she doesn't want to leave. That one doesn't do anything. This is really handy. So this has me thinking, right? So it looks like we just have a bunch of names, but if we look at the first letters, we have D-O-N-T, don't, F, trust, V, her. So there's that too. Someone is telling me not to trust her, and I don't know who it is. Alright, so now we're going back to Bedlam for the to cut open that canteen, which I have tried to do multiple times when I first got in it, and now it looks like I may actually be able to. Makes sense if you can have just one or the other. I have a feeling it's going to end up being... Oh! Nope, it just gives me a knife in here now. So now we've got the knife and the bolt cutters that are in here. Okay. Alright. Okay, I've never been in here before. That's interesting to have in the canteen. Alright, so there's the door I've got to go in. I'm just looking to see if we have any other kind of secrety secrets. Doesn't look like it. Okay, into this door. Oh my, writing on the wall. Okay. The Dark King. Immortal. Power. Oh, immortal, powering high in the sky. From tears he's born. The ghost silent. Rye? And then boy. Speaking something eyes. So, God, that's really hard to see. Alright, she said she'd be waiting back in this room with us, for us. Alright, we've got a new letter. No! I didn't read it! Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm actually surprised that you tried to help me so much, even though I didn't tell you anything. I think I should have been more open and honest with you, but you can't decide whether you can eat it... Oh, crap. Or not without seeing the inside, can you? Actually, everything didn't start with Bedlam. Everything started with my marriage to that man. With that man who constantly beat me, constantly insulted and cheating on me. The best but saddest thing that ever happened to me was getting pregnant by this man. We had a child named Elena. I thought everything would be good thanks to my little Elena, but everything started to get worse. Everyone I asked for help turned their back on me, including my own family. Everything got more complicated as my Elena got older. He treated my Elena as he treated me. He was beating and insulting her. He hated us so much that he wouldn't even protect or care about his own daughter. How can you leave a small child alone in the bathroom? My little Elena drowned in the bathtub. Oh. The worst part is that he acted as if nothing had happened, treated me like I'm sick, and had me locked up in Bedlam. Made me look like a lunatic. Even my family did not stand by me. That's why I'm asking for your help. Maybe this sounds wrong to you, but I can see my Elena again. I don't think about who is guilty and who is innocent. All I want is to see my Elena, even if it's just one last time. Now you know the truth about me. We can get back to work. That writing you see on the wall is like an incomplete text, but wait a minute. I remember hearing that. Yes, I definitely remember it very well. The employees in Bedlam were talking about such a riddle among themselves and were trying to solve it. As far as I can remember, the riddle was like, Dark King Immortal, watching, oh, it said watching, watching high in the sky. That was not right. It definitely said prowl. There was definitely a P there. The Dark King Immortal, watching high in the sky, from tears he's born, the ghost silence eye, breaking the chains of time, unlocking eternity's door, in mirrored eyes the dreamers dance forevermore. I don't know the answer to. I guess we won't be able to continue without solving this puzzle. I trust you. With you, I will get to see my Elena again. You are my only hope. Suzie. Okay, I'm a little concerned by the whole, you can't decide whether you can eat it or not without seeing the inside, can you? A little concerned about that. Okay, so there's a puzzle. So there's where we're at. There's the puzzle, but I am not sure what exactly it means. I do wonder which it is, though. Right, breaking the chains of time, unlocking eternity's door. Mirrored eyes. We're gonna go back and we're gonna start searching through Bedlam again. Alright, I'm back in Bedlam. We are gonna try to figure out Suzie's thing. Oh, so since I cut the door, that's open and that's open. Awesome. Okay, so we gotta figure out this rhythm. Now that we actually have the whole thing, we can look at it. So we've got Suzie's story. Sad. That's really loud. Alright, so we have the Dark King, immortal, watching high in the sky. From tears he's born, the ghost silent rye. Breaking the chains of time, unlocking eternity's door. In mirrored eyes, the dreamers dance forevermore. So, I am not super wonderful with riddles, so I do not remember who it was that said it, but I did get an answer from someone. On the community, I don't remember who it was, but this is not from my own brain. Just letting y'all know. Death. Shit. Alright. Oh yeah, that's not Dead by Daylight at all. That's... okay, we got... Okay, we got a few things. Alright, so what do we get for... Okay. Health report. Patient name, Suzie. Date of birth, 6/6/1966. Schizophrenia and personality disorder. The patient's health status was examined in detail, and the information presented below was obtained from the patient's clinical assessments. Diagnosed with schizophrenia, significant disturbances in her perception of reality, hallucinations, thought disorders. Let's see. As a result of Sue's extensive evaluation, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, oscillations between reality and imagination, confusion, and hallucinations at regular intervals. The situation causes significant losses in Susie's daily life. Medication, individual, group combination, treatments, regular use of appropriate medications to control side effects, individual therapy sessions focus on Susie's ability to manage her thoughts, maintain connection with reality, and support and positively influence emotional well-being as well as physical well-being. Therapy provides cognitive and emotional support by working through the patient's past traumas, difficulties, and emotional processes. Supportive group therapy. Group therapy aimed for patients to share their experiences. Okay, so that sounds very doctory and right. If you found this place, you know what you're looking for. I hope you are one of us. Go to our secret place and say the word cloud, Dr. Thompson. Oh, interesting. Go to our secret place and say the word cloud. Go to our secret place.
So I'm going to make another cut here because I spent the next 10 minutes looking for a place in here. You have to go back to the penthouse.
Alright, I could not find the room to put Cloud in, so we came back to the penthouse to see if Suzie has it. Oh, there's another new note for me. Let's see what she has to tell me. I've been sleeping on the edge all the time since I've been there. I was waking up to even the slightest sound. I heard their whispers at midnight when everyone was asleep. I think they waited for everyone to sleep. I could hear the footsteps of doctors approaching my cell. At first I thought they were coming for me. I was scared. But then they walked past my cell and moved on. They stopped after a while. I heard the door of another cell opening. The cell door was not in the same line as mine. The sounds were coming from further away. After some time, I heard the word you saw in that note. I had the same feeling I had in the toilet. There was a difference, as if somewhere had changed. The reason I'm telling you about this memory may be that this is the place they refer to as a secret place. It's worth a try. First, you have to find the cell keys that Dr. Thompson was carrying, or you can't get into those cells. Try searching the keys in Dr. Thompson's room. After you find the keys, go down to where the cells are and find the right cell. You might need to try all the cells one by one. After you got inside, try saying the word a few times. I don't know which one is the right cell. Maybe you can find a sign or a mark telling which one it is. Go and find that book. I can't wait any longer. Okay. Okay, so that's what I wondered. Okay. Back to Bedlam. There's the keys Suzie was talking about. So, even though I know it's not Suzie's and I know it's not a few others, but I'm really tempted to just open up the doors one by one. Now, this is Suzie's. Is there a scare here? No scare. Okay.
There are no scares in any of these other doors. Only the right one.
This one doesn't have a name. Cloud. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, found it. Alright. Hey, we got lights. Okay. The sun turns dark. The sun turns darkness into light. The sun goes down, the moon comes out. The sun is jealous of the moon. It has to wait for the morning. The sun comes out, it illuminates the darkness. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. So, sun, sun, moon. Sun, sun, moon. Sun, sun, moon. Sun, moon, sun. Sun, sun. Okay. So, um, I somehow messed up my recording and I did not record the rest of my playthrough of Suzie's Quest. I thought I did. I have either somehow deleted it or I don't know. But unfortunately, since it is a permanent safe house quest, I cannot go back as far as I know and restart it. So I'm just going to go through from here and show you what steps you need to do. I do apologize that I am not going to have the videos of actually doing it right now. So, oops. So, after quite a bit of time, we finally figured out that the symbols for this, when you go over here and you put them in, it's going to be moon, sun, moon, moon, sun. And that is how you unlock the chest. When you unlock it, it will pop up and there will be a key right here. You're going to grab that key and then you're going to go right back to Miss Suzie in the penthouse. So I'm just going to play through the rest of this so that I don't mess up the recording again. We're just going to go back to the car. Oh, he's right over there, isn't he? Oh, well. So, instead of going back to the safe house, I'm just going to show you how to go through and finish this. You would go back to Suzie's and get a new note. So, this is I think we've reached the end. I can feel it. This is our last obstacle. I will meet her again. There is one last thing left for us to do. I know this key. When they took the book away from me, they hid it somewhere using this key. That place is in the shed outside the building, and I know that this key will work when you get there. I have no idea what awaits you inside. All I know is that the book is there. I am running out of patience. Bring me that book now. And when I was first going through this, she's getting really impatient and snappy and bossy. Not a fan of that. Now, there is a cool little spook. So if you do this, make sure to listen because the shower, listen to the shower when you leave her room. So you do that and then you come up here and it's like, okay, so those big double doors that we were so sure that are definitely going to be something, you're going to come in and those open right up and lead you down here. Now, when you come down here, there's a book and a letter. So when you go and you pick up the letter, we get this a long thing that actually tells us all about Suzie. So Suzie was a young person who had not been able to communicate successfully with her environment since her youth and had harmed the people with whom she communicated. Having problems with her family, Suzie met Martin at a young age and they decided to get married. Suzie and Martin wanted to be parents at a young age, but could not have children due to Suzie's illness. Suzie does not have any children, according to the records, but Suzie has convinced herself that she has a daughter, and her name is Elena. He was telling his wife that he had seen his daughter and even talked to her. Um, Suzie's husband, Martin, brought Suzie to Bedlam for treatment to help her. And I think this is a weird typo. I think he's saying she was telling her husband that she had seen her daughter and even talked to her, or something like that. Or telling her husband that he had seen and talked to her. I'm not sure there. That's a really weird line, and I don't know if that's a purposeful to throw us off or if it's just a typo. My first impression of Suzie was that she had a moderately calm personality. She didn't seem to have any issues, or so it seemed. Suzie's husband was also coming to visit her often. One day I saw Suzie in her cell, interested in a book. Actually, that is normal, isn't it? But when I saw the book, I had a strange feeling. That book was pulling me in as if it were talking to me. When she noticed that I was looking at her, she quickly hid the book and averted her eyes from me. After all, we are in a mental hospital, right? I thought it was perfectly normal. Suzie started to take on different attitudes day by day. She wouldn't eat anything, and we noticed that her moderate demeanor was starting to become more and more aggressive. All she cared about was that book. Suzie and her husband seemed to be on good terms. He used to visit Suzie often, but when he came to visit, Suzie didn't want to see him anymore. She was completely enclosed. As the days passed like this, one night we heard loud screeches coming from Suzie's cell. When we got there, we could clearly see Suzie's veins swollen almost to bursting, as if she had no skin. Her fever was over 40, and she was muttering a single word, Elena. When I went to check on Suzie again the next day, I was very surprised, because she got better. Her introverted state was gone. She seemed like a happy person. She didn't seem to have a problem, or so I thought. Everything was going well in Suzie's process. She reestablished communication with her husband, ate her meals, and seemed happy. It was as she had never experienced that night. This was very strange, but I did not take any action, thinking that she was okay. When her husband came to see Suzie, he requested something after meeting with her. "Can I take her home for one night? It would be good for Suzie. It will help the healing process, and Suzie wants it too," he said. Since Suzie's progress was going so well, and I thought it would be good for her, I allowed her to stay in her house for that night. I think this was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. The night Suzie wasn't in Bedlam, I had a gnawing feeling. I took the initiative and went to check her cell. She had a very clean cell. Everything was tidy, not messy. I said no need to worry, and decided to leave the room. Just as I was about to leave the room and close the door, I saw a red stain on the wall at the corner of the bed, as if it had been covered with the bed. I had to satisfy my curiosity. I couldn't believe what I saw when I pulled the bed aside. There were strange symbols written in blood on the wall, and in the middle of those symbols, Death and Martin were written side by side. We immediately went to Suzie's house with the police, but it was too late for everything. When we got home, we could hear Suzie crying and muttering, even through the front door. We went in. Suzie had drawn the same symbols she had drawn in her cell, in blood, in her room. Her husband was lying on the floor, covered in blood. There was a writing, Elena, on the wall. Suzie was muttering something like, "He tricked me. Elena won't come back." Next to Suzie was that book that had caught my attention earlier. The book was open, as if she were trying to perform a ritual using that book. As we approached Suzie, Suzie shouted, "I don't want to go." But her voice was different than usual. It was deeper, as if it didn't belong to her. She said once more, "I don't want to go," and fainted. We locked Suzie back in her room, in her cell in Bedlam. Will she go to prison or stay in Bedlam? While waiting for the decision, Suzie's execution was ordered, and until the time of her execution, it was deemed appropriate that she remain in Bedlam, as she was mentally ill. Everything got even worse after that. After this incident, Suzie never once asked about her husband or home. There was only one thing she asked for and wanted, and that was the book. She wasn't even eating. She was very aggressive. We never gave that book to her. She continued to hurt and insult people. She has turned into someone whose condition has deteriorated and is now trying to harm everyone, including us. This really wasn't the Suzie we knew when she first came. She was a different person. When the day of the execution came, even Susie's words at the execution were about the book. She wanted the book, laughing and angrily. Her last words were, "You think everything is over, but this is just the beginning until that book is in my hands." We believed everything would go back to normal after Susie's execution, but it didn't turn out as we expected. Inexplicable events began to happen in Bedlam. Patients died, doctors died, and many other bad things took place. We decided to seek help from the church because we started to believe that Suzie didn't really go. The church also confirmed us. They imprisoned Suzie in her own house and hid the book. And they told us precisely and clearly, "Do not take this book out of here or let it fall into Susie's hands again. If this book falls into the hands of Suzie, even we don't know what will happen." Even though the book was hidden, I still had a bad feeling, because the book was still within reach of any human being, even if it was difficult. So I did some research. There is no way to destroy the book, but one can hide it. It can be hidden in another dimension. I cannot do this. The book does not want to be hidden. It wants to be found and used. It wants to control people and play with their minds. I do not have the will to resist that book. If you can hide it, take the book and place it on the statue located at the entrance of the hospital outside. Whatever happens, don't let Suzie or anyone else get this book. Dr. Thompson. So, then you have a choice. You can either choose, so you pick up the book, and you can choose to do one of two things. You can take it back, you can go out here, and you can take it back to Suzie. Just get in your car and go back and take it to Susie's. I did not do that. I did the other ending. And again, I apologize because I don't have the video of it now. However, it is the only ending I am finding right now on videos, but I'm sure the bad ending will pop up soon too. You take it right over here, you put it right here, and then there's cutscene, and then you can head back here. So now I believe that is considered the good ending. And when you go back, there is, when you go back and you go in here, then there is only one thing left. She did leave a note right here. And all it says, let me see if it actually pulls up. Yeah. So it wasn't there. I truly believed it was there. If it's not there, I really don't know where to look. You can't help me anymore. I am all alone now. I can't ask for more. Farewell, Suzie. So, now from my understanding, that is technically what can be considered the good ending. I'm not sure what the bad ending looks like. I'm going to try to get my husband to play and get him to the penthouse, and I'm going to try to do the whole thing again, and then I will add in scenes and do a video on that and probably take him down the bad ending. One more interesting thing is, so now if you go up here and you say exit, oh, she says I don't want to leave. So when you first do it, if you come out here and say exit, it says don't say it again. And then if you say exit, yeah. Oh, there it is. Don't say it again. Exit. She gets really mad. Now, I don't remember if that was there before, because I never thought to say it again. But when I came back that time, it didn't say I don't want to leave when I first came out. So it just said the don't say it again. All right, guys. Well, that is how you get through Susie's Quest. And then, yeah, you just make your choice if you take it back to Susie or if you put it on the statue. Sorry about the lack of new visuals, uh, but there's that one, guys. Have a great day.